would hear things at night when we would go swimming. We would hear like people talking, and there's no one back there at all. My brother and I would be upstairs in our room, and we would see this really small creature. I don't know what it is. Maybe like 4 feet long, maybe a little bit more. And he's like gray, a grayish white.
This is the Cryptic Creatures Podcast. I am Brian, and with me is my co-host Todd. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on is tonight's guest is from Maryland, and they have another weird, different, strange, cryptid creature that we can talk about tonight that doesn't follow the normal Bigfoot and
he's
Dogman
got a couple
routine.
things to talk about.
Where he's living is a strange area, it sounds like. It sounds like he's got some weird stuff going on and seeing some weird things. What this thing is, I don't know. So,
what is going on in Maryland?
What is going on in Maryland is right. Let's find out. What do you say?
Let's get him.
Okay. How's it going, Josh?
Doing good. How about you?
Good, man. Good.
We're
Thanks.
good.
Thanks for coming on and talking to us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
You had contacted us in an email and had told us about something going on around your property. Why don't you go into that and tell us what's happening there?
When we first moved in, we would notice these really subtle like things going around in the house. We would hear like stuff up in the attic, like just randomly up in our attic. We have shelves where my father used to keep like tools and just basically like storage. Things would just fall off the shelves constantly up there, and there would be no one up there to move them. And it started out like little things like that. And then gradually my brother, he said that at one point he came downstairs, my father was sleeping in the recliner. And he said that basically he saw a little girl by my father's right-hand side. And the little girl was just sitting there staring at my father. And he like kind of got freaked out, like backed up and just went back up the steps. And then we started seeing the little girl more and more. And this leads into the creepiness. So after my father passed away, the little girl disappeared. We thought that maybe she was like the guardian angel. Maybe she was even guarding the house to a degree. Because really, really, the stuff started happening really badly, and it started happening really quickly. Out back of our house, I sent you pictures of it. We have our pool, and then behind it is woods that just goes straight back. I mean, it's pretty much maybe an acre of woods behind us. There is no fences, nothing like that. And we would hear things at night when we would go swimming. We would hear like people talking, and there's no one back there at all. Nobody goes back there. Especially no kids. There's only old people in my neighborhood. I mean, I'm not talking like old people. I'm talking like very old people, because the people that come back here are pretty much, it's like either vacation houses or I guess it's like their final stop onto, their journey in life. It's there was a couple times where my brother and I would be upstairs in our room, and we would see this really small, like, I'm not going to say creature because I don't know what it is, but it's like maybe like 4 feet long, maybe a little bit more. And he's like gray, a grayish white. And you'd see him on all fours running around my yard. Sorry, I'm like getting the chills just thinking about this.
It's all right. Take your time.
We haven't seen him in a while. But there would be this thing that was out there, and it would literally just run around. We have no wildlife that is back there. and that comes anymore. We had rabbits that we found dead back there. We had, dead squirrels. We found a couple dead moles. And like I said, there's nothing back there. Like, we used to get deer, we used to get like all kinds of stuff. And then like I said, after my father passed away, just all this, it just started getting really crazy. And basically, things would start occurring in the house as well. It still do just pretty much to this day. We get shadow beings that come in here from time to time. And it came in, 3 of them came in. I don't know if it's if any of these things like add up like together or something, or I don't really know. I just know that like my neighbors said that their houses are also really, really active when it comes to things. It's just a lot, especially that the grayish thing. We have tried getting pictures of it. I've captured the actual sounds of the stuff outside of my house. I don't know if you guys looked on my YouTube, but on my YouTube it had it said it, and I forget what it's labeled. It's like strange monkey noise or something like that. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a combination of like a fox, a woman screaming. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but it's like a female fox and a woman screaming, but it has a little bit more bass to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so with the shadow people, they came in, and I was laying down and I felt my arms being pressed down, and I don't have sleep paralysis or anything like that. Like I did like extensive research into, what could have caused this. Well, like my arms pressed down and my legs pressed down, and like I felt something choke me. I got my arms and my legs free. I went to stand up, and I heard, because I had my eyes closed because I was so scared, and I was like crying, and I went to scream, and I heard like this thing like yell. I don't know how to. It was like a yell that was mixed with like a laugh. I don't know. It was very obnoxious. But yeah, I'm sorry. This shit like really freaks me out. I bless my house every single day. To any people out there who's listening, white sage. It always doesn't work. You could use frankincense. White sage was used a lot by like the American Indians to help, with, to open up the spirit realm. The frankincense is what drives them away. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so like all over the place.
We got time. Just take it easy.
Yeah. We can ask you
together.
We can ask you a couple questions if you don't mind. Talk to us more about the grayish thing. Can you give us a little bit more detail of what this thing looked like and how big it was?
Okay, so it looked like grayish white, almost like the color of stone. Okay, it had dark parts to it. It was like a dark stone color to it. What you'd see on like maybe gravel colored, I guess you'd say. And it was more on the dark side of the color scheme. And it looked shiny, regardless of if it was raining or whatever. It had like this weird shine to it because it's mostly matte, like a matte.
Was it
wallet.
Hair? Was it fur? Was it just smooth skin?
Absolutely bald, smooth skinned. It stayed on all fours. It didn't like stand up or anything. It was always on all fours. When it retracted itself up like a frog in like their stance where it's like sitting down with its arms in front. And I would say, and this is just, a guesstimate, maybe 4.5, 5 feet tall. I really haven't seen it stretched out, I guess you'd say, because the thing is fast. I've tried getting it on trail cam a couple times, but like all the trail cams I've bought have been, pieces of crap. So I think this summer I'm going to save up and get like a really good one and maybe try to capture this thing on camera, because it's mostly active. I'd say about 8 p.m. until about, I don't know, 4:30, 5 a.m. And then it varies like in the summertime. But it's super damn creepy, and like it would come up to like our pool area and just sit there. And there was a couple times where I had a friend come over swimming, and it was the first time that outside of people in my home, someone else has seen. And it was in the back part of my home, crawling, whatever, just back in the woods. And I heard something, and I was just like, time to get out of the pool. So I was like thinking in my head, like, I got to think of something. I got to think of some lie I can concoct to get these people out of this pool, because I don't know what it is. And if it is that thing, like, I don't want anyone, to just see it, and or so that way, no one gets hurt. Like my mind, I'm a very anxious person just by nature. So like I'm trying to like get my friends back in the house, and my one friend, he actually saw it, and I mean, blood curdling scream. It doesn't really react to scream nicely. Like it like lunges, but not really lunges in a way where it kind of like leaps. Its hands are not reptilian, but semi-human, to where it's like 4 fingers, and the side thumb has the largest nail, I guess what you'd call the dew claw or whatever, that has the largest, and then the back feet has the really, really large claws in the back, not so much the 3 others on the hand. It's just that dew claw and then the back feet. But yeah, no hair.
Always on 4 legs. Never standing on 2.
Not that I've seen. I've seen it. The closest I've seen it standing up would be, I saw it trying to climb a tree, because it was trying to get on my roof once. And there was a tree by my house, and I was like on the 2nd floor. We have 3 floors here at my home. And I was on the 2nd floor, and I was watching it, and it knew I was watching it because it was watching me. And it tried going up the tree that is right next to my mom's room on that side. She has like a kind of like a terrace when she opens her window. It's very small, I guess. What's it called? Like a widow's peak or something. And it was trying to get up on my roof. And when I saw it, like, it was kind of scuttling because it had nothing to grab onto. So I know it can't climb very well, but it can jump. I tell you that. It can jump very high. So, but I don't know. I've looked just endlessly online. Like I would type in the description, like, it doesn't really have a smell to it. It's not like with like Sasquatch, how they say it smells like, trash or whatever. And that it's coming around. No, it has absolutely zero smell. The only really time we know is it makes strange noises, like I said. And it likes to kill animals. I don't know whether it's for sport or for, I don't know if it's drinking its blood. I've never noticed arms or anything cut off, but I think it likes to just attack animals. I have to keep my animals indoors. Like I have cats and everything and, dogs, and I'm afraid to let them outside. And my neighbors, they know it too. And I'm so afraid to get the police out here because what if they come out here and then there's nothing, and then I'm going to look like, the crazy person of my area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
would you say this thing's more dog-like? Is it cat-like? Is it human-like? What would you classify it as? If you could
description or demeanor or
well, yeah, did it walk like a dog or a cat or?
No, it was very low to the ground. Like on Spider-Man. The best way I can describe it is like Spider-Man when he's crawling up a building, you know how he's hand after another, very close to the building, very that, you know what I mean? Very, very close to the ground. It's not like a cat or a dog. And it doesn't really fit the criteria of a rake either, because rakes, they walk almost like dogs, it's very, very strange. Like I said, I'll keep in contact with you guys. When I can get the money, I'm going to get those really good trail cams, and I'm going to figure out a way to get a picture of this thing.
Can you, Josh, can you describe the head or the face of this creature?
Sure. So the head is smooth. There is no hair whatsoever. Coming down, it has a very prominent brow bone. Like myself, it's very high. Its nose is very, very slim, and I hate to say it, but how Michael Jackson's nose is very thin. You know what I mean? Like how it's thin and pinched.
Yeah.
It's very much like that. You know what I mean? And then its mouth is how can I describe it? Almost try to compare it to something. I'm losing. It's almost like a human mouth in a way, except the teeth are a little bit more weirder. I don't know. Maybe I should go to one of those FBI people, the character people, and have them draw it out. You know what I mean?
Picture, yeah.
Yeah.
If you got a good artist friend,
or draw one yourself. Yeah, you draw one yourself, maybe.
I mean, I'm not the greatest of drawers, but I could probably draw something up for you. But yeah. This thing it's something gnarly, and
yeah, that's weird.
And I've never heard of anything similar to what is going on down here. And my neighbor knows about it. My neighbor has, had because it used to steal her. She has fruits and vegetables and all kinds of stuff. Apparently, now I don't know if it's maybe territorial and that's why it's killing the animals or what's going on, but it would steal her strawberries from her garden. Apparently it likes strawberries. And she said that it chased deer away a few times. It would chase after the deer and almost keep up with it. So, I mean, I don't know if it's an omnivore or I just try not to get close to the thing. But yeah, it since then, it has figured out ways, like I said, to get on my roof. I hear it clicking upstairs because I sleep on the very top floor.
Well, I would definitely keep windows locked.
Oh, we do. Trust me, we do. I'm very thankful that my window is kind of in the middle of the house. It would really, really have to defy gravity to get to my window without falling straight down. Yeah, because it's not like my mom's where it has the ledge and stuff. But yeah, it's been this. I mean, imagine, 11-year-old boy having to deal with this. Like, I've been dealing with this the longest time. I wouldn't say 11, I'd say 13 or 14, something like that.
How many times do you think you've seen it?
Oh, I mean, dozens and dozens. Like I said, after my father passed away, it started to get, the stuff inside the house started getting crazy, and then stuff outside was getting crazy too. I don't know what my father was into, or he was a Mason, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. So
well, one of your emails was about the shadow people. So
yeah.
Where did that start after he passed?
Yes, sir. So, like I said, I was laying downstairs, and I just, fell asleep. It was probably maybe a month after his passing, and they travel in threes. Well, I did some research on that, and apparently there's a man with a hat.
A lot of people report him, yeah.
Yeah. So it's him, and then there was two others. Now, what I've found through reading is he's an observer, and the two others is kind of like the henchman. I don't know if it's necessarily true. This is just what I've read. He didn't do anything to me, but one of them choked me and thought it was hilarious that I was trying to fight back something that I couldn't physically touch. And I actually seen them turn the corner to go up the steps in my home. And since then, I have placed sigils everywhere in my home, above doors, going outside. I have looked into every type of protection, whether it be pagan, Christian. I have crosses, the whole 9 yards in my home to try to keep it to where, my sister just recently had a baby. So, we all have to deal with, this kind of stuff. And it's crazy. It's really crazy here.
Yeah, sounds like it.
You guys should come up and spend the night and see this.
Have you checked into the property or the area around you guys where you're at there? Is there any kind of old, grave sites there, or any kind of maybe ancient Indian kind of
ritual sites of some kind?
There is actually an old church up the street from me, and has one of the oldest graveyards in the state of Maryland. But it's where they were burying slaves, because Maryland, it was one of those states that were high, in the human trading, I guess you want to say. But it was like one of the oldest where they buried slaves. And I mean, God only knows what could be buried around here. I'm not sure if there's Indian stuff. My next door neighbor, I asked her, just about stuff like that. And, she said she knew nothing about it. And she's been here since, I can't remember, but her mother was here, and then and she's like in her late 60s. So I doubt anything like any Indian graveyards or whatever, any boneyards. But I don't know. I really don't. I honestly think my father, and I know this is horrible to say, but I think my father has something to do with all of this. Honestly, in my heart, in my heart of hearts, that's what I feel. I don't know if maybe it's his fault, but I just have a feeling that there's something. He had his hand in this somehow or another.
Is there a reason why you say that, Josh?
Well, because he was a Grandmaster Mason, and he was very secretive about his stuff. I know, people say Masons are, it's just a club and, whatever. I don't believe that. I've been inside their buildings as a child. I've seen, the churches and stuff, the temples. And the temple that is in DC, they're in the basement. It's haunted as all get out. I mean, you can actually hear stuff there, and you don't have to be sensitive to anything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did your dad ever talk to you about some of the things that he knew that were kind of a secret, or, maybe belief in encrypted beings, or talk about those kind of things with you guys?
He talked about spirits a lot. He was Catholic. He said, I've studied magic a lot. In my lifetime, I've always kind of rebelled against like my parents. My mother's Lutheran. Like I said, my father was equal Catholic, and I kind of rebelled against them. I always, I'd studied like Earth and everything like that. And I used to always tell them, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the devil. And he would constantly say to me, well, the devil believes in you, and you need to, get your shit together, because, there is demons out there and they want to do harm to you. And, he would talk to me. He has talked to me about cryptids before, as the Mothman, because he said he's traveled through New Jersey, but that really doesn't have anything to do with this stuff. But other than that, no, he is super duper secretive. When he passed away, the people from the Masonic Temple came. They took his suits. They took his books. They took pretty much everything he owns that belongs to him. They took it back. So we have nothing. We have 2 rings, a belt, and I think it was like a handkerchief that had his initials on it. Other than that, they confiscated everything because he was that deep into it. So I don't know. I don't know if he shook the wrong hands in his lifetime or what, but I think it may be something.
Yeah.
But that's just a theory.
You were talking about the noise. Do you think that creature that you saw was the one making that noise, obviously?
I think so. It could be. It could be something else. Like I said, it on my YouTube. I don't know if I sent you that. I just know that it's definitely on there. It's the name on YouTube is Speeding Whiskey.
Okay.
I'll check it out.
It has some dumb stuff like my niece's wedding, but it 2 videos it says like strange monkey noises ? Because that's what in one video it kind of like sounded like at first, like it sounded like a howler monkey, but then it like, I don't know. You have to listen to yourself. But I think it was, but it could be something else. I don't know. I live in a very, I live on a peninsula, so I'm cut off from like society. You got to actually travel to get to like any kind of like stores or stuff like that. It's pretty much middle of nowhere.
Is it possible that there's more than one of these creatures, or you think you've just seen the same one every time?
I never thought of that. It's a distinct possibility.
Do you think your father knew about this creature?
Deep down, that's one of my theories, yes. I think he does. And I think he knows a lot more than what he gave on about,
Right.
It's really scary. Like I hate nighttime. I hate the summers, here. Like anytime I can get away and visit like my friend's house, like is a blessing, like a vacation. Because, not being able to go in my own pool for, I can't like night swim. I'm a night person. So, being able to go outside and enjoy stuff like that it's a luxury, and you don't know what you got till it's gone.
So have you checked in? I know you said you're not a big religious guy, but have you tried the exorcism route?
No, like I said, I do burn the frankincense a lot, and I have put up sigils, and I do, I try to bless like my doors and stuff like that. And so far that I've kept the shadow people at bay, I haven't really seen them. Now, the thing that's outside, that's I think wants to get in, I think that's his goal, honestly, is it wants in.
Probably.
And what it wants, I don't know. But I think ultimately that's its goal. I don't know whether it is to harm me or to harm, my mother. I don't know. My other brother moved out. So it's pretty much just us now. I'm not leaving her alone. So it's like,
Right.
Do you think this thing's paranormal, or do you think it's a flesh and blood creature?
it's definitely paranormal, man. Definitely. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of classification it would be under. I don't know. I got to get a friend to draw it for me, because it's one thing for me to describe it, but like to see it's heart stopping. Like when you actually see it, it's literally heart stopping. It's a couple times it made me like, where I've taken my dogs for walks and I've seen it like scuttering around, and like literally I've paused and I've like, I don't know if you've ever been that scared where you stop dead in your tracks and you're almost like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like that. It's very, very, I don't know.
I know it's hard to take a picture of something with your cell phone or pull your phone out at that time. People think, why didn't you get a picture of it? Why didn't you get a picture of it? Like you said, you're in shock, or it happened so fast. Even if you have your phone on you, you're not going to stop to pull that thing out and take a picture of it. Do you ever see any footprints of this thing, or what you think might be this thing around your property?
No, because there is tons of leaves and mud and stuff. Like I said, it lives towards the back of where the woods are, like where the woods stop and where my house, like my yard begins, like the woods end or whatever, is kind of where it dwells. It doesn't, that would be a good idea, but I don't know how I would do that. It would dwell there at first, and it took a while before it actually came into like the yard, but I've never seen, because we have animals that come through here all the time, or at least did, but I don't really pay attention to stuff that's like outside, you know what I mean? Like I try to avoid my backyard at all possible. But yeah, I totally get that. Like, especially when, these things like nighttime and, you have a phone, and regardless of what phone you have, you can have the top of the line iPhone, and, with night, like the night thing that I have on my Google phone, you have to hold still for like 20 seconds so that way it could capture everything. You know what I mean? And it's like, who has 20 seconds when you're about to urinate on yourself, because you see something that is not of this world. You know what I mean? Like,
So you had said you don't think this thing is a rake. Based on what you're telling me, I would assume that's probably what you're seeing, but why do you think it's not a rake?
well, I think it could be like a subspecies of it, but from like the pictures that I've seen online and stuff of rakes, because like I said, I scoured the net, like trying to figure out what this thing may be, because I wanted to find out like what's its weaknesses. Can we kill it? How do we keep it away? Or keep it at bay, or whatever the case may be. And if it is, there's really nothing we can do, because the rake comes and goes. It does what it wants. You know what I mean? And it kills as it wants. It's possible. It's very, very possible. But aren't the rakes also almost like human size?
Yeah, they're supposed to be bigger than human size, I guess. Just scrawny, supposedly.
Yeah. Well, this would have to be I would say, like a little person. Then if it was going to be like a rake, it would be like a little person version of the rake.
Okay.
What else you got going on?
Aside from just like the paranormal stuff, it's just it's a creepy area over here. I can't wait to get away. Like we've been talking about moving for quite some time, and I just it's like every day it's like closer and closer to the goal. But with COVID and everything, it's hard. It's hard, especially in my area.
The price of houses right now.
Oh yeah. Just work around here in general is hard to come by because with everybody in my area, and then the small amounts of places that we do have, it's like first come, first serve, and unfortunately, I'm almost like the last person on the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you don't got a job, you're gonna have to travel and travel far. But
move here, we got jobs galore.
Yeah, where are you guys at?
Northern Indiana.
Oh, really? I'm sure you guys got lots of cryptids up there.
Some, but we, not a lot, a few.
Yeah, we just talked to a guy about 40 minutes away who had a Bigfoot in his back 40 or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost rather a Bigfoot.
Yeah, me too. Than what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I would almost rather a Bigfoot. But there's been stories that I've read on Reddit where some of the Bigfoots have actually ate meat, like people meat.
Cannibals, so to speak.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would be into that, bumping into one of them.
Josh, we appreciate you coming on and talking to us tonight and telling us about your encounter and what that thing is lurking around your house. I do not know. I hope someday you can get at least.
Yeah, no kidding. I hope somebody hears this and can speak up on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely I'll draw something for you guys, or I'll see if I can find a friend online that I could maybe send the details to, and they can make a rough sketch or something. But like I said, once I get the money, man, I'm getting those really good trail cams, and I'm gonna find a way to take a picture of this thing. Yeah.
If you could, just go on Facebook, find our group page, and join our group page, and you can post your videos or whatever on there of what you're talking about with the screams and the monkey sounds, if you would. That way everybody listening can check it out too. Yeah, and if any kind of sketch you get or picture you get, please send it our way and let us know what's going on.
Absolutely, fellas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, thank you so much for having me, guys. I hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, man. You take care. We appreciate it.
Me too. Thanks. Thanks a lot for taking the time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Cryptid Creatures Podcast with Todd and Brian. If you've had an encounter and want to be on the show, email us at info@cryptidcreatures.co or leave a message at 888-5-DOG-MAN.
So you think rake? You don't think rake? What do you think? What's your thoughts on that thing, man?
I want to say rake, but it's the size is throwing me.
Baby rake?
Are there baby rakes?
I don't know. Are there dwarf rakes that run around out there? I
don't know, man. I guess they could take any shape or size. I don't know. I don't know enough about them to say for sure, but that's what it sounded like to me.
When we first started doing this, I was hell-bent on finding a rake encounter. I don't know why. You remember that?
We were too, yep.
And we really still haven't.
I gotta find a rake. We gotta get a rake.
What is this rake
I
thing?
don't know, man.
Kind of let it go to the wayside. So I don't know. When he started talking about it too, I almost thought some kind of cat creature maybe that had mange or something, but no, it sounds like
but the color was...
Yeah. And no fur, right?
Off.
No fur.
No fur. Mm-mm.
Creepy, strange. I should have asked him if it was glowing.
Yeah.
You always think of something after the fact, but...
Yeah, always. Anyway.
Time to get out of here, my friend.
Right on, man.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, always fun. See ya.